The notification alert started buzzing on my phone shortly after I left. My family had apparently wasted no time transforming Madison's birthday celebration into a carefully curated social media campaign designed to showcase their perfect family dynamics and elegant entertaining skills. The first post appeared on my mother's Instagram account, featuring a stunning group photo of the family gathered around Madison near the marble fireplace. Everyone looked radiant and happy, wearing their designer outfits and practiced smiles, while crystal chandeliers provided dramatic lighting that enhanced their photogenic appeal. The caption read like professional marketing copy celebrating Madison's special day and the family's incredible bond that had created such magical memories together. My mother had written several paragraphs about the joy of watching children grow into remarkable adults, surrounded by unconditional love and support from relatives who would always be there through every milestone and celebration. She tagged expensive vendors and thanked the professional photographer for capturing these precious moments that would be treasured forever in family albums and holiday cards. But something was missing from this picture-perfect narrative. Actually, someone was missing. I had been completely erased from the visual record, like a person who had never existed or attended the celebration at all. The professional photographer had captured dozens of images throughout the evening, including candid shots of family members laughing and enjoying themselves during various moments of the party. None of those photos included any evidence of the daughter who had spent hours serving drinks and clearing plates for their wealthy guests. The comments section beneath the family photos provided immediate entertainment as people who knew the real story began responding with barely contained confusion and diplomatic questions about my obvious absence from the documentation. One particularly observant guest who had watched me serve her champagne during the evening left a comment asking about the quality of the catering staff and whether the family had been satisfied with the service provided. Her subtle reference to my forced role as unpaid help flew completely over my family's heads, but provided perfect validation for anyone paying attention to the subtext. She knew exactly what she had witnessed and chose to document it in the most diplomatically devastating way possible. My cousin's wife posted an even more pointed comment praising the beautiful venue and asking specific questions about which family members had been able to participate in the celebration. Her carefully worded inquiry about whether the entire immediate family had gathered for this special occasion created obvious pressure for my mother to explain my absence without admitting to the dysfunction everyone had witnessed. The diplomatic warfare happening in that comment section rivaled anything produced by professional political campaigns. Madison's own social media posts focused exclusively on her stunning appearance and the elaborate party details that showcased her family's wealth and social connections. She shared multiple selfies highlighting her professional makeup and designer dress while thanking everyone who had made her birthday celebration so incredibly special and memorable. Her captions mentioned feeling grateful for family love and support without specifically acknowledging any individual relatives who had contributed to the evening's success. The tension in my chest grew as I scrolled through post after post documenting a family celebration that had somehow occurred without any evidence of my participation or existence. They had managed to create a complete visual narrative of Madison's birthday party while systematically excluding the family member who had worked hardest to ensure their guests remained comfortable and well-served throughout the evening. The deliberate nature of this erasure felt more calculated than accidental oversight. That's when I decided to reclaim my story with a single photograph that would reveal the truth behind their carefully constructed facade. I drove back to the grocery store and purchased an identical cupcake to the one that had been left as my consolation prize in the mansion's industrial kitchen. The plastic container and artificial frosting looked exactly as pathetic under fluorescent store lighting as they had surrounded by professional catering equipment and marble countertops. My Instagram post featured a simple image of the sad little cupcake sitting on my kitchen counter next to a handwritten note that read, "Happy birthday to me, love the help." The caption explained my evening in precise detail without naming specific family members or creating unnecessary drama through emotional accusations. I simply documented the facts about being handed a server's apron at my sister's birthday party and discovering my consolation prize hidden in the kitchen while professional catering staff received payment and respect for identical work. The response was immediate and overwhelming. Comments poured in from friends who expressed shock and outrage at my family's treatment while sharing their own stories about toxic relatives and similar experiences with emotional manipulation disguised as family obligations. If you've dealt with similar family dynamics, I'd love to hear your story in the comments below, because these experiences are unfortunately more common than people realize. Several guests who had attended Madison's party and witnessed my forced role as unpaid help left comments confirming the accuracy of my account. They apologized for not speaking up during the celebration and admitted they had felt uncomfortable watching the obvious dysfunction but lacked the courage to intervene on my behalf. Their public acknowledgement of what they had witnessed provided crucial validation and helped establish the truth about my family's behavior. The family's panic became visible through their subsequent social media activity as they scrambled to control the narrative and limit the damage to their carefully maintained public image. My mother posted cryptic messages about the challenges of maintaining family unity when some people choose to walk away from unconditional love and support. Her passive-aggressive comments suggested I had abandoned the family rather than been systematically excluded from their celebration and documentation. Madison shared inspirational quotes about surrounding yourself with positive people who appreciate your worth and refusing to let negative energy diminish your happiness and success. Her posts carried obvious references to recent drama without acknowledging any responsibility for creating the situation that had sparked public accountability and uncomfortable questions about family dynamics. But my favorite response came from an unexpected source. The professional catering supervisor who had worked Madison's party reached out through direct message to apologize for the confusion about my role during the evening and to offer me actual paid employment at future upscale events. She had been impressed with my work ethic and natural hospitality skills, despite the obviously awkward circumstances that had required her professional intervention on several occasions. The social media aftermath revealed something important about the power of authentic storytelling to expose manipulation and reclaim personal narratives from people who prefer maintaining false images over addressing their harmful behavior toward family members. What I didn't expect was how sharing my truth would open doors to opportunities and connections that would completely change my perspective on everything that had happened. Sometimes the most humiliating experiences become the foundation for something much better than you ever imagined possible. The plot twist, when the black sheep becomes the success story. The phone call started 3 weeks after my cupcake post went viral. A series of CYA calls from my mother asking if we could talk about recent misunderstandings and family communication issues. She spoke in that careful tone people use when they're trying to repair damage without actually admitting they caused it. Her messages included vague references to hurt feelings and the importance of maintaining family bonds despite occasional disagreements that get blown out of proportion by social media attention. What my family didn't know was that I had been building something incredible while they were busy excluding me from their designer gatherings in Marble. Mansion celebrations. My event planning business had grown from a side hustle into a 6-figure operation specializing in corporate retreats and authentic celebrations for people who valued genuine connection over Instagram-worthy photo opportunities. While Madison was posing for professional photographers at rented mansions, I was creating meaningful experiences for clients who became friends and referred their own friends because they trusted my ability to understand what actually mattered. The irony was delicious in the most unexpected way. They had treated me like hired help at Madison's birthday party while I was actually running a more successful business than anything my sister had ever attempted. Her social media influencer career consisted mainly of posting sponsored content about skincare products and designer handbags to an audience of people who probably couldn't afford anything she promoted. My clients paid premium rates for personalized service and creative planning that reflected their values rather than their desire to impress strangers online. The discovery process began when one of my cousins mentioned my business success to my mother during a family dinner I hadn't been invited to attend. Apparently, my event planning work had gained enough local recognition that people in their social circle had started asking about hiring me for their own celebrations. The same wealthy crowd that had watched me serve drinks in a server's apron now wanted to pay me thousands of dollars to coordinate their parties and weddings because they had heard about my reputation for creating unforgettable experiences. Madison reached out through a carefully crafted text message that read like something her social media manager might have written to handle a public relations crisis. She expressed confusion about recent family tension and suggested we should celebrate each other's successes instead of letting misunderstandings create distance between sisters who had always been close. Her message included several heart emojis and references to sisterly love that would have been touching if they hadn't been completely contradicted by years of evidence showing her true feelings about our relationship. The family's attempts to claim credit for my success provided entertainment that rivaled any comedy show I had ever watched. Suddenly, I was their prodigy with no prior evidence. My father suddenly remembered encouraging my entrepreneurial spirit during childhood conversations that had never actually occurred. My mother began telling people that she had always known I would succeed in hospitality because I had such natural talents for making people feel welcome and comfortable. Their revisionist history would have been impressive if it hadn't been so transparently motivated by their desire to associate themselves with my achievements. But the most revealing moment came when my mother suggested I might want to plan Madison's upcoming engagement party as a way to showcase my professional skills to their wealthy social circle. She presented this opportunity like she was offering me a favor rather than recognizing that my services now commanded rates higher than what they had spent on that ridiculous mansion rental. The conversation revealed everything about their inability to see me as anything other than someone who existed to serve their needs and enhance their social status. The twisted logic of their sudden interest in my success highlighted everything wrong with their value system and family priorities. They had spent years treating me like an outsider who didn't deserve inclusion in their celebrations or family photographs. But the moment they discovered I had built something valuable without their help or approval, they wanted to claim ownership of my achievements and benefit from my professional reputation among their social connections. Being the family scapegoat had actually provided valuable life skills that my privileged relatives never developed through their cushioned existence and constant praise. I learned resilience from years of emotional neglect and exclusion. I developed empathy from experiencing rejection and understanding what it felt like to be invisible in rooms full of people. I built authentic relationships with clients and friends who valued substance over superficial appearances because I understood the difference between genuine connection and performed affection. My success had nothing to do with their family dynamics or the advantages they thought money could provide. I had succeeded because I understood what people actually wanted from their celebrations and relationships. While my family focused on impressing strangers and creating perfect social media content, I had learned to listen to what clients needed and deliver experiences that reflected their values rather than my own agenda for recognition or status advancement. The decision about maintaining contact with toxic family members became surprisingly easy once I understood the pattern of their behavior and motivations. They would never celebrate my achievements without trying to claim credit or benefit from my success. They would never acknowledge their previous treatment without attempting to rewrite history to protect their self-image. They would never change because change would require admitting they had been wrong about fundamental issues related to family loyalty and basic human decency. The realization that sometimes the best family is the one you choose for yourself felt liberating rather than devastating. My chosen family consisted of friends who showed up during difficult times and celebrated successes without trying to claim ownership. They included clients who became friends because they valued my work and respected my boundaries. They encompassed a community of people who understood that authentic relationships require mutual respect and genuine care rather than obligation based on shared genetics or family traditions. My worth had never been determined by their opinion or approval, and their recent attempts to reconnect only confirmed that their interest was motivated by self-serving reasons rather than genuine desire for relationship repair. I changed my number and built my own chosen family. Sometimes the most painful lessons teach you the most valuable truths about what really matters in life. That cupcake taught me my worth comes from people who see me, not those who assign me an apron. Some bridges aren't worth building when the other side keeps burning them down behind you. Share your story and hit subscribe. Here's to family you choose. We're building something better than marble mansions and fake smiles. A community where showing up as yourself